Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Heri, founder of the band TYR, here to the program tonight. How you doing, Heri?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I am doing excellent. New album, Hell, out March 8th via Metal Blades Records. This is your 8th full-length album. You had a little bit of a gap between this and your last one, but it was sort of planned, correct?
Yeah, well, it was not unexpected, and yeah, we didn't plan for the gap. We planned to take our time with the album, and of course, with that comes a longer gap. Not that we needed precisely that. We just needed some a bit more relaxing circumstances.
Yeah, because you guys have been pretty prolific with releases for quite a while, so you kind of wanted to step back and take a little extra time. And I read somewhere that this particular album is the closest to the sound of TYR that you ever wanted to get.
Yes, I think so. This is our most, how can I put it, thoroughly worked through album, and we really took our time to go through all the details and get it as close to our vision as possible, and I think this is the best album we could have made at the moment.
So you're actually able to capture the sound you were hearing in your head for the band.
Yes, absolutely. We took complete control of the recording process, and that really paid off because, we have more time. When you're in a studio, you're on a very tight deadline. You have to hurry. You can't always consider the quality of the recordings first. You have your time to think about. For this one, we did the recordings on our own time at home in our home studios, so you have all the time you need to make it as good as you want. So that definitely made a big difference for this one.
Now, were these all brand new, fresh songs, or were these any leftover from previous efforts?
There's one or two leftovers. There always are, and even from this album, there's one song thrown into the folder for the 9th album. So, for example, the 4th track, I think the 3rd one also, I had, worked out, pretty much already by the time we recorded Valkyria, the previous album.
Yeah.
And there simply wasn't room for all the songs, so we decided the songs that needed the most work were going to be on the next album again. And so far as I remember, they are Ragnarskveie and Garn 3 and 4 on this one.
Cool. Now, you also, on the previous albums, you had done a bulk of the writing, music, and lyrics, and you sort of had other contributors from within the band do a little bit more work on this album, right?
Yes, simply because we had more time. It was more convenient to involve Gunnar and Terje, and so we got their ideas on the table and took the best ones and put them on the album. There were 5 songs from Terje. Actually, there were 6. One went to the 9th album and will be on the next album again, and Gunnar had 2 songs for this one.
Excellent. You also broke in a new drummer to the recording process. He played live with you since 2016, but this was the first time in the studio, correct? And I'll let you say his name.
Tadeusz Rietman.
Yeah.
He's been with us since the summer of 16, and our cooperation has worked wonderfully. He's precisely the right drummer for this band. He's technically very able, but he also has a very heavy groove and plays with a real passion. If you see him play live, you see it. He obviously loves what he's doing, and he's the right combination of technical and groove for this band.
Excellent. You put out a lyric video for Fire and Flame. Do you have plans to put out any other videos for any other songs?
There will be 2 more videos before the release of the album, and they will both be released in February.
Perfect. Cover art is fabulous. Can you tell us a little bit about the concept of that? Who did it? What the concept was? Stuff like that?
Well, like I said, Hell is the concept for the album. It's the underworld in the Norse mythology. It's the realm of the dead, those who died not a heroic death in battle go there. And Hel is also the name of the goddess who rules over the realm. She's the daughter of Loki, and not like the biblical Hell. Hel is gloomy, hopeless, and misty place. And we just told the artist, who is Gyula Havangsak from Hungary, we told him the concept idea we had for this, and he drew up a sketch, and we said that looks great, keep working on that. Yeah. So he came up with what you see. We asked for some details here and there, but mostly it's his own work, and he deserves all the credit for that.
And what's his name?
Gyula Havangsak.
Okay. Had you worked with him before, or was this the first time?
No, we've worked with him for, I guess, 4 or 5 albums now.
Okay, excellent. Where was I going? Oh, I want to talk about a couple of the songs. I lost my train of thought here. I was thinking back to the cover of the album, and hearing all that was just really brought it into focus. Few of the songs really jumped out at me. I'm a guitar solo guy and a guitar guy, and this album had some monster guitar on it. The tone, the physicalness of it was just really amazing. I got to compliment you on the production and how you guys captured that guitar sound. It was fabulous.
Thanks.
And the 2 solos that really jumped out at me were on Sunset Shore and Against the Gods. Those were just rip your face off when those solos kicked in. Killer solos.
Thanks. I suppose you're talking about the solo after the second chorus of Sunset Shore.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's all Terry. Yeah, and well, he's got the feel and and the technique for it. And which other one did you mention right now?
Against the Gods.
Against the Gods. I don't have it in my head right now, yeah. But
that was great.
I suppose it's one of those. We usually go back and forth. Terry plays either first half and I play second half, or we play 1/4 each. Terry me, like in Fire and Flame and Gates of Hell. So I suppose thank you for the part of those that I play.
Yeah. So when you approach your solos, do you just go in and let it rip and do it in one take? You do a couple and then take bits and pieces from it, or how do you approach it?
No. I sit down and try and find a thematic idea that works with the music, and then I find sort of a theme to work on, and I sit down and sort of nerd with it and put together bits and pieces and stuff that I already know how to do, and some stuff that's a bit new, which is often more difficult to play. Yeah. And I write it in notes in my program, the Guitar Pro, as I use for composing. And only after I write the solo, usually at a very slow tempo, I then go about practicing it at full speed. So it's not like I sit there playing stuff that I know how to do. I first compose the solo, and then I have to figure out how to play it.
Right. Okay.
So I think Terry doesn't do that. Terry has more of a practical approach. He's very technically able, and he just plays whatever he thinks or feels will fit over it, and then he fine-tunes it a bit. My approach is completely different.
Excellent. The other tune I loved was Empire of the North. I love the way it started out kind of a little bit thrashy, then you went real melodic on us for a bit in the middle. Great tune. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, that was one of Terry's songs. He has this very heavy riff sometimes, and it's thrashy, and it's harder than what we will have anything we've done before, I guess. Some of his songs on this album. And he has these nice chord progressions, and it's usually up to me. He has some simple ideas for the melodies as well, but I arrange the vocal melodies for the most part, and especially the choirs in the choruses. And it turned out pretty cool in this one, like the heavy first verse and a quite fast second one with the a bit folky melodies sort of taken out of Terry's ideas.
Yeah.
And it's an unusual song. It has an unusual chord progression, especially towards the end of the chorus, but it's sort of fitting in a strange Scandinavian way.
And listening to this album, I was trying to think of who I could compare it to, and the comparison that came with me with the lyrics and the cover and everything is like Iron Maiden has this whole British sort of horror theme. You guys are like the Viking metal Iron Maiden. You know, you've got the way the songs sound and are sort of structured, the imagery on the albums, the imagery and the lyrics. That was the closest I could come to. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, thanks. I will take that as a great compliment, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, we talked a little bit about your solos. I read where you started playing guitar at 14?
Yes, that is correct.
What led you to gravitate towards guitar as opposed to bass, drums, anything else?
I don't know. Guitar was sort of, guitar was sort of the instrument that was around. It's not like, you don't pick up a bass and start playing some kind of sing-along.
Yeah.
Or drums for that matter. Those instruments are sort of secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar is like what you start with, and then you add sort of bass and drums later. So there were guitars around, and a few of my friends played guitars, and then when I was 14, I came into contact with heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
First Motley Crue and Iron Maiden, and those were my first two bands, and I became very, very interested in music. I was already interested in music, but I became very interested in heavy metal, precisely.
Right.
And I wanted to know more about it, and I especially wanted to know how to put songs together. So only 3 years later, when I was 17, we made our first band, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that was Cruiser, right?
It's embarrassing.
Which later became Wolfgang.
It's like the most cheesy and generic metal band you could pick, even if you were from America.
Now that was with
sort of
you and Gunnar were in the band, though, right? Together.
Yeah. We looked up to the American scene bands, and we sort of wanted to be American. And then later, it became Wolfgang, and by then we were sort of a bit more aware of our European metal, so we sort of wanted to be German, so with kind of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in that way. We listened to bands like Accept and Scorpions and all, and then finally we came to terms with, we're not American, we're not German, we're actually Faroese, let's call it Deutsch.
Now, were you guys doing originals back in the Cruiser and Wolfgang days, or was it covers?
Yes. No, we did play some covers, but we started making originals as soon as we made the band, and it was always my ambition to play only originals. But it goes to covers, so you can play and get a bit more money. Sure. And play for entertainment. But I was strongly against the idea, and I remember first time we played covers on stage, I left the stage in protest, and the other guys played the covers, and I came back when we played the originals. Now, originals, like songwriting, was always my ambition in the band. Okay. And I put great pride into writing our own songs and making it with our own material.
Yeah. A lot of this is based on traditional folk music over in the Faroe Islands, which I understand is sung a cappella?
Yes, there are no Faroese folk instruments. It's all vocal.
And you can hear that. I heard that a lot, and you guys are singing. You had big verses, big choruses, stuff like it sounded a cappella, but with that metal background, which I thought was really, really cool.
Cool. Thanks. That's, I suppose, sort of our signature sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about the website for just a minute. It's www.tyr.fo. Great website. And I looked at some of those packages you've got available, particularly for this album. The bundles and stuff that you can get through Metal Blade and all that. Those look really cool with the horn drinking cup and everything. That's got to be pretty neat to put out.
Yeah, they even made several versions of the vinyl, and it's very limited. So if you want one of those, you should be very quick and order one. And
good stuff.
What can I say? That they do Metal Blade's done a great job for us, and the drinking horn, I look forward to getting that myself.
There you go. You're going to do 70,000 tons of metal cruise again. How's that? Being out on a cruise boat with a bunch of metal bands.
Man, that is the greatest festival there is, in my opinion. We're not 17 anymore. You don't enjoy waiting around in mud or standing in the rain listening to your favorite band, and this is like a luxury cruise,
Yeah.
So you can be sure there's no mud, there's no garbage floating around, there's no rain. Well, very unlikely, because most of the stages are inside, and just the most wonderful circumstances you can imagine for a for a festival.
I was gonna say, with being on a boat like that, the camaraderie between bands and fans and everything must be incredible.
Yeah, it's you know, the people get used to it, and they every now and then someone steps up for a picture or an autograph, and mostly it's all very calm and cool, and people are respectful, and we've been there 3 times already. It's been a absolutely amazing experience every time, and I look forward to doing it again this time.
Touring plans beyond that?
Yeah, we're going on a European headliner tour shortly after the release of the album, and a US headliner as well. And then comes the festival season in Europe for 2 or 3 months, and then back on tour in Europe. And we have some shows coming up in Japan, China, possibly Korea as well, and Israel, and that's it. Well, there may come more, of course, but that's the plans we have at the moment.
What's the reaction to you guys saying, like Japan, China, and countries like that?
We've never been there before, actually.
Really?
We haven't been. We've been to Siberia and you know, the Asian parts of Russia and Kazakhstan once, but we haven't. This will be our first time in Japan and China, and really excited about how that's going to go.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be really, really cool. Once again, talking with Heri, founder of the band TYR, their new album Hell, coming out March 8th via Metal Blade Records. It's their 8th full length. I've heard a preview copy of it. It is fabulous stuff. Heri, I always like to end my interviews with just some fun questions. Hopefully these are questions you've never been asked before. Sound good?
That sounds wonderful.
Would you rather be on a desert island alone or with someone who never stopped talking?
I think I'd take someone who never stops talking.
Okay. Favorite smell?
Fresh wood.
Fresh wood, okay. Given your choice of household chores, would you rather do the dishes or the laundry?
Dishes.
Dishes, okay. You know, most guys say that. No, I take that back. Most guys say laundry because you just put it in and let it go, and then, you know, that's about it. So. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Oh, I didn't really have any toy.
Guess you could always go with guitar then. You were only 14, you know.
Oh yeah, well, if you call it a toy, I suppose some people would. No, I can't really remember one toy that I had.
Really?
When I was younger, honestly.
Okay. All right, last one, and this is the one we usually have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you have play you in the movie?
I have absolutely no clue. What's his name? Oh shit, I forgot his name.
It'll come to you as soon as we get done.
Yeah, you know, the guy from Star Trek. What's his name? Plays some American comedies. Never mind, I forget his name. You know, give the role to Brad Pitt.
Okay, Brad. Yeah, there you go. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, Heri, I thank you for taking the time to chat with us here tonight. Let's discuss with Lance Hall. Once again, this is Heri from the band TYR. New album Hell coming out March. No, I didn't. Yeah, March 8th. I had 2 8s here. March 8th and your 8th full length, so I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Correct.
Once again, on Metal Blade Records, it is a fantastic album. And again, if anybody wants those bundles, go in and order them quick. There's some really cool stuff in that. Best of luck and best wishes towards your tours that go out. Have fun over there in those Oriental countries of China and Japan. That first time over there, that sounds fun. And on that metal cruise and everything. And hopefully we'll see you when you come here to America.
Thanks for doing this interview, and please, everybody, buy our album, come to our shows, and I hope to meet you sometime, Lance, and maybe have a drink.
Sounds good. Take care.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.